Hello, welcome back. Alright, you ready for this one? Toffee, oh my god, I absolutely love these old school toffees. Okay, so the first thing we need is a 12-hole muffin tin. And then we want to grab yourself some patty pan cases or cupcake cases, some paper ones, and fill them up. So this recipe makes 12. So now I'm going to get some of the toppings ready. So I'm going to be using peanuts, and I'm going to chop them up, some hundreds of thousands, and some coconut. Alrighty, once we've got our toppings ready, we want to set them aside and get out a large saucepan. So for these toffees, all we need is white sugar, water, and malt vinegar. Now, if you can't get malt vinegar, it's also known as brown vinegar. The first thing we do is add 3 cups of white sugar, 1 cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of the malt vinegar or brown vinegar. Alright, grab a spoon and just sit that on the stove top for a minute. Okay, so before we start cooking that, you want to get out a small bowl and a pastry brush, okay? Now, once it starts to boil, if we need to, you want to put hot water in the bowl. You want to dip your brush in with the hot water and just take a little bit of excess water off, but still leave water in there. And then we're going to wipe down our saucepan. But have that ready just in case you need it. Because when the sugar goes all around the saucepan, if you don't clean it, it'll make your toffees kind of go sugary and not proper anyway. So now what we're going to do is we want to whack our stove top on medium. We want to constantly stir it and don't stop until it starts to boil. As soon as it starts to boil, do not stir it anymore, completely leave it. As soon as it starts to boil, I'm going to set my timer for 14 minutes, and that's for stick jaws. Now if you want hard all day suckers, you want to set your timer for 17 minutes. I don't know if you can see the little spray at the side, but if you see that, I've got some hot water with my thing and I'll just let it run down. Don't touch the actual toffee, but do it just above it and just go around and let it clean it off. Like a soup. We're about 7 minutes into it now. Now, if you haven't got, see how I've got a saucepan that doesn't have the lip on it for pouring? If you've got one with a lip on it, you're laughing. If you don't, you need to get a heat-proof jug out. Now, I don't really have a heat-proof jug, but I'm pretty lucky. I've got some measuring cups and they're metal, so I'm just going to use one of them today. But yeah, if you've got a heat-proof jug, you want to pour it in there, then pour it into your patty pans. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, turn off the heat. Now, the next thing we've got to do is we want to just leave it sit there. I'm hoping you can see all the bubbles coming up from the bottom in there. We just want to wait until they've slowed right down to pretty much none. Make sure you put it on a tea towel or something because it's extremely hot. Okay, now it's nice and quiet and they've slowed right down. Okay, so I'm just going to use my metal measurement. I've got a 1/3 cup one. And I'm just going to pour it in. So I'll just scrape it out, scrape the bottom along the saucepan. Now once we've done that, when the saucepan cools down a little bit, fill it with really hot water and it will melt it all and make it really easy for you to clean. Now we need to set our timer for 2 minutes. Alrighty, a couple minutes later, now we can put our toppings on. So the first 4 I'm going to do with coconut. Next 4, hundreds and thousands. And the last 4 with my favourite, peanuts, or big chopped peanuts. Yum! Oh mate, they look so good. Okay, now we just leave them sit there until they completely go cold. Once they completely go cold, just move them out of the way on a bench somewhere, and they can take up to 6 hours to set. Don't put them in the fridge, just leave them out somewhere. Well, there we have it, lovelies. Gorgeous, gorgeous stick jaw toffees. Or at my age, teeth pullers. Okay, 6 hours? No. Alright, so after 6 hours, they still weren't set. So I ended up just going to bed and I got up this morning and they're absolutely perfect. So they take forever to set. So if you're going to do them for a fete or something, make them the day before and then the next morning they'll be ready to pack up. So once they've set, you can store them in an airtight container. Do not stack them on top of each other, otherwise you'll get to where you're going and they'll all be stuck together. Keep them all flat and separate. Now, I'm not sure of the science behind it, but toffee is no good to be made in humid weather. So if you've got sticky, muggy, humid weather, don't even bother making them. Now I write absolutely everything below, so definitely have a look at what I've written below, and if you follow everything to the letter, they will work out perfect every time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll actually be back really soon. Bye!